Frank made sure that we'll all stay awake for this. You got 20 minutes. Go, go, go.
Oh, wow. You look like Dora. Remember him? You know what that is? That's my motor.
Didn't bother responding?
The cat has
I mean, obviously sent us a number.
You want someone?
Nobody I know.
That's great.
And that sort of thing, just get started.
Anymore? No, I wouldn't.
Surprised us was
A year ago? No, absolutely.
all of the grandkids wanted to dress up as the PJ Masks, and we only saw like
My initial.
them as the PJ Masks.
The PJ what?
Mask.
To contact.
It's another Disney owns them. It's
I'm behind.
It is a local number though, so that's why I'm like,
they're superheroes at night.
Call.
Calls us from 513.
I had one that phoned my mom's office the other day.
Nice.
I thought that was awesome. You know, I picked that sucker up and it's like, would you like to extend your credit card something or other? No, it's not the office.
Yeah. I've been, every time I get one of those, I mark it as spam.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't get a repeat, but at some point, people I know are gonna start buying those phone numbers on accident. What? Or, no big deal.
Well, it started getting like 30 of some plus a day on the landline. I'm driving me bonkers.
Oh, I've got a magic too. It's
Okay,
paid-
let's
it's paid
do
for like
the
2029.
introductions, I guess. I'm Jim.
Gail. Frank.
Right, but I can
Leroy.
change my magic, double check.
Vicente.
Mike. No, I'm Mike. Steve. Marcus.
Barry.
Where you? Your name?
Marcus.
Okay.
He said that right as he walked in the door.
Yeah. Perfect timing. You want to right chicks or left twist?
Yeah.
Because obviously there must be a difference.
And you better speak quickly.
Yeah, they're going quick, huh?
Yeah.
I think I got
These
too
are
much
going
candy,
down.
I got too much candy left over. I should have eaten it.
One.
Done. I'm done. Thank you. Uh-oh.
That Snickers beats quick.
That's right, I'm trading up.
Did you wanna do a short thing on the,
Very short.
very, okay. You wanna, how about he does a very short demo?
Go ahead.
For you, okay. Go for it.
That's the correct limit on what I'm gonna say.
This is a project that is in the
You
web.
could be connecting up while he's doing it.
I don't even,
Need an extension cord or anything?
I've got.
He's got one.
it's an Arduino driving to let arise the bricks. It's a project that under $20 or stuff. Parking cost $9. It's just
Duct tape, that's good.
It wins.
those are the parts that was used. An Arduino Nano and two of those, they cost $1.50 or something to ship it, the matrix with the driver.
Yeah. Wait, the 8x8 arrays are $1.50? The 8x8 array is $1.50? Is that what you said? $1.50?
$1.50, yeah, free shipping.
Free shipping.
You can
Yeah, there's.
AliExpress.
He's
Yeah.
bad, you have to get used to him after Leroy and me, we thought we were cheap.
And the Arduino is $1.
He's frugal, he's not cheap.
70.
Sounds better.
I don't know, cheap, he's pretty bad.
They're cheap.
Yeah, he's almost cheap.
They're cheap. And And if you want to play with one, I've probably 15 or 20 of the stupid things.
This is a very good book. Was new in the shelves. It's about the how we think the world is going. You know, are we going better or worse? And there is a lot of information about how everything is better. You know.
Oh, that's
We
good.
got a negative perception on it.
Yes. And the book analyze why people has bad perception of the world.
Because of the trust.
Well, Stephen Hawking's last book didn't sound too
Stephen Hawking was very thick.
very,
This is another Halloween project.
what's that?
The plumber proved him wrong on his way out.
He didn't sound totally
Can test the
fatalistic, but
sounds.
he didn't have, wasn't positive on everything. I've read the book, I've read the reviews.
I didn't read his book either.
What does it do?
Press the buttons,
I don't know if you guys
the
saw it.
black, the white buttons in the.
Plumber, literally.
I didn't
like,
see that.
Rewrote his black hole theory and proved him wrong.
Was that
A
a pro?
plain working man plumber.
Yep. He'd been studying physics for like 16 years on his own. Came up with, you know, and showed that there was flaws in his
Okay,
theory.
so you got timer and some kind of oscillator going.
This is an
I don't know if
MP3
you
player
read a book
with 2
correctly,
megabytes
his
in the
stuff or
chip,
not, but
and it costs under $2
I'd like to look the plumber up.
with amplifier and everything in the chip.
I have no idea. I could probably find it. It
Okay.
shouldn't be that hard to.
That's,
But what did you
Okay.
think of?
they're even
oh,
cheaper
yeah.
than that.
Look down,
There's
there are
there's like a
cheap,
YouTube
a world cheaper,
video
you know,
interview with
cheaper.
him and Stephen Hawking's response to his work.
Are you getting them? You're getting them with
Here's,
the board too?
what
Or
we're
without?
talking
I
about,
pay less than $2.
different levels of, load on
This is the
$60 a
for
year.
Max, 72.
They don't have
Okay.
factfulness in audiobook
Housing.
format.
levels, different housing levels.
Couldn't hurt on NPR, they were talking about the guy actually went out and actually analyzed the amount of wars, yeah, actually analyzed the amount of wars that's used to be going on in Israel compared to now. A lot less wars, believe it or not. Years ago,
You can
a lot
have
more
4 of them.
wars.
Yeah.
So,
Because that's where
Or-
the funding.
That's
goes.
how I've been buying them lately.
He was talking about
I think I was paying like
Need a
$3
500
for
kilowatt
it.
Shine
amplifier
had $60 a
connected
day,
to that.
a year, and they had to buy
That-
some from them
That one there.
for $35 for half
Yeah,
their
we
wages
took
for
friends
the whole
over.
year to get the
Had a
water
friend of
out
mine
of the
had
field.
I knew they're not.
1
They're
kilowatt
not
amplifier
expensive. Even
in
250 is not expensive.
car.
When I was
There it is.
first
The
married,
price of the.
Oh,
that's
that's
amazing.
not it. That can't be it because that's charges.
That's way too much.
That charges
99 cents.
shipping.
Less than $1.
Well,
We got to
Shipping
do
is
free shipping.
$1.84. Wow.
Shipping's
gonna
more than
break
what
it.
they want for this thing.
Total price is less than $3.
Here you go.
Yeah, but I pay less than $2 for them.
How many you have to buy, 1,000? No, you just got.
No, you have to. You have to just
You
keep
can
looking.
buy
That's
for
all it is, it's
You have
like-
to just keep looking because there it is
Yeah.
for $1.11.
Right.
Yeah,
It's-
look.
Sometimes
Free
you
shipping.
get free shipping.
Those prices have gone down on that stuff.
So when will you get it, in 8 months? or-
Yeah. I know.
Well, that's why you order like 20 of them at a time.
You
But
get
the
they
Max,
come in and stack.
the Max controller from Mouser cost more than that.
yeah.
The chip, the controller, just
Yeah.
the IC.
This is the one.
Are those daisy chainable? Is that what the
Yes, yes,
second?
yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
This kit is the one I prefer because I don't like messing with the SMD stuff. But even that is cheap, like $1.20. And it's got the actual, dip,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a little bit bigger.
How many of those can you daisy chain?
How big is it?
Huh?
That would have been nice little.
Is that
A sampler of the.
yeah. So
Now they are asking
Is that a
25
floor
25
sample?
cents for samples.
Is that a floor sample?
Yes.
Max 72, 19 daisy chain.
Where did my
What
mouse
is that?
go?
It's a floor sample.
Lost
that
my
he
mouse.
Oh,
put
a
it
towel,
on.
like a,
pretty solid though.
Yes. I
I use those for coasters. Every time I go into Home Depot, the little square ones, use them as coasters.
I've never thought of it. That makes good sense.
yes.
Are they free?
Yeah. Yeah, they're there as samples. They're not there to be used as coasters,
Yeah.
but if they don't know,
Yeah.
people.
No, but they are asking for 25 cents now
Oh, really?
for some of them.
Lowe's.
Oh,
And
okay.
I buy them for that.
To use for various and sundry things.
Yes. It's an insulator.
Yeah, it's solid, it flexes.
It's a solid.
This guy says he's used up to 20 of them connected together.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm seeing like between 10 and 15.
Okay, cool.
You can make your own growing bar.
Yeah.
Can you find this thing?
I've got a couple of I bought a couple of them because you told me to. Or
You connect it directly to the USB port and you download the MP3 files and you can play them with different buttons in the pins, or you can use an Arduino and send serial commands to play numbers or whatever. It's absolutely.
I bought a couple of those because you said they were good, and
Yeah.
I haven't
You
messed
can
with them
add
yet. They got
sound
here a
to any
couple days ago.
project.
I've got a really cheap speech synthesizer. I got notified it's in the States, which means it's probably still 10 days away.
Okay. And
It's in the States.
What about Young Franklin? Have you read that?
not yet.
What? Not yet?
It's in the stack.
Yeah, in the
What's
stack
the
of
difference
stuff.
between?
They make I don't think they use the Max 77219. They make I2C ones that have 4 already daisy chained
Yes.
together.
Really?
Yeah, and then it's I2C. I think you can
And they are
select
cheaper.
like 5 or 6 different addresses for them.
Mhm.
So you could,
Hmm.
and they're not expensive either. They're like $3 or $4 for like 4
For
of
the
them.
4 Matrix.
Wow, we do live really good compared to the rest of the world.
I don't think they're using the.
I read something about this agreement with China. There was an agreement several years ago about not charge mail shippings from countries in the development stage. You know?
Right.
But China changed from development country to a developed country.
Yeah.
But they still use this advantage of send stuff without paying the mail.
Oh, okay.
That's why those prices.
Oh, okay.
I think that in 6 months or in a year this will disappear.
I
You
noticed
will pay for
they-
each shipping will be very high,
Okay.
Yeah.
several dollars each. That's not good.
I already see some stuff that.
We'll be consolidating our orders and
Yeah,
stuff.
really.
No, there will be companies that import in quantities and sell you for a little bit more than that, but
They're already starting to do that.
already there are
Yeah,
that's what
in
they
Amazon. There are all those stuff. All the stuff is in Amazon also.
A lot of
Maybe
it.
costing 50% or 100% more.
Why did you?
But if they ship it from the
Was
United
that
But the
States,
shipping,
it's still
the
going to
shipping
be.
is in a couple of days.
If you ship it from the U.S., it's still expensive.
Yeah.
It's 50 cents for an envelope.
Yeah.
Okay, Frank, whenever you're ready.
Okay,
we'll
let
go
me see if I
for
can
it.
cast to the desktop. That's always a challenge here. Evening TV.
Evening TV. And
Let me put away the distraction
Burned out
here.
microwave.
alright, and I will drag this over to that screen. Maybe.
I'm gonna look this guy up I sent you, got my interest peaked. I like this kind of stuff.
I don't know how far out you wanna go, there's a lot of repository on,
Okay, when I talk about this stuff, I'm a little bit long-winded. And I also like to,
terminals, or you trying to actually put batteries together?
I talk about history.
Yeah, I don't know if they could do that.
And first I'll tell you how I got to this, because I used to host a lot of websites, and I used to try to make money at it, and I still do a little of it, but it's not a money-making venture. But I'm in this organization where I teach kids web development, a lot of other stuff, and we were funded by a foundation. Funding is changing, so I'm going to have to learn how to collect money.
Yeah.
So I had to connect up to a merchant account, and had the thought that a lot of people who I expect to give money or join with membership will use phones. So I had to make the pages, the right pages anyway, more mobile responsive. And in going through that process, I thought about talking about it again. Okay. And as I said, I do kind of history. And software applications have been around for a while. And we talk about some of the drivers. The internet wasn't always there, even though people now believe that there was always an internet. And there are different technology platforms. Then it's kind of where we are now. And then where I see us going. There are always issues, and then I'll have a summary. I have some demos here too. Kind of one of the crux of the new world is what's done with style sheets. HTML5 and style sheets sort of drive everything. Once upon a time, there was oral history, and people passed information like that, and everybody used it to do different things that wasn't quite effective. There also were stone tablets, which were kind of hard to produce. And I always say that I'm almost back at the beginning of all of this. It was pen and paper, which is to speak a little bit to my first job was a draftsman. I was, I had drafting in high school, and I was electromechanical draftsman. And before I was working a year and a half, everything started to be computerized. You guys ever heard of Mylar?
Oh, yes.
Ink, Mylar, those sort of drawings were made for manufacturing. And the wiring drawings went first. Used to do these forms and create input cards and run a program against it and generated all the wiring diagrams. The equipment diagrams still had to be drawn by hand. Then of course we had print books and typewriters, and work was done, but took a lot of time to get things done. Then computers came along, and of course things got better. And even before the microcomputer, there were many applications that were developed, but it really wasn't good enough. There was always a demand for more. We got to the point where computers were everywhere, and then we needed access more of the time from more of the places. It takes a while for this thing to change. Okay. And then the internet appeared. Everybody knows about the 4 nodes, ARPANET, 1969. I talk to a lot of people now who just really can't relate to that. And then, this is according to Frank Hill, there was real progress in about 1996. That was the time that, people had 56 kilobit modems, blinding electronic speed. My pride and joy in the 80s was a 1200 baud pinwheel, because nobody else had one. Nobody I knew had one anyway. Used to connect the bulletin boards. And then the internet, once internet access came along, it just grew exponentially. And devices got smaller. Bandwidth increased from 56K, even though at the time I thought that was really good. And we started to get more content that people liked. And course, you all remember when AOL came along. That was a great revolution. And MySpace and later Facebook. I was a big fan of AOL. I thought that was, best thing since sliced bread. And
You remember CompuServe?
yeah, I remember CompuServe.
That was me. Yeah. I hitched right onto that one.
And then web applications started to be used by everyone. A lot of people on the web. And Amazon started to sell books on the web. And that really wasn't a big deal at the time. It was like, we sell books. So what? But, that's one of those things that turned out really well. Then over time we got internet Wi-Fi access, which meant that more and more people had easier access. And, it got to the point where you could think about, well, we have arrived. What else is there? But the demand kept going up. You need more access by more people in the world. And then cell phones came in, which they were relatively cheap, and more people had cell phones. And right now, most of the people on the planet have cell phones, so it's a great tool for access. All right, this is sarcastic, because I get to be, I talk to people who are, like planners and project managers, and I have another term which is called hand wavers. And one of them is my junior son, who is a finance guy, and talking meetings about these systems, and we need to get them on the web, we need to get them in the cloud. And, this is always something that's talked about, like it's just go do it, 1, 2, 3. It's easy, no problem. And I can remember that when I was a development manager, I used to have people encouraging me to do stuff, and I wouldn't give them money. The only time that I got to kind of really try things out was, this actually changed, but in the beginning I used to have interns, and of course interns, these are college students, I could have them do anything I want. There was no accounting for what they did, and so you try out things, and it was fun. This is one of my pushback statements is that everything can't run on the web. Even though more and more things are being run on the web, but anything that needs a lot of graphics, which is CPU intensive, you need to do it on a local computer. Things like video editing and 3D printing and some video things. I also point out, and I've seen this where you have someone, they'll move to virtualization. That is, you can have all your desktop run on a server. You have something that's very thin, very dumb. There's something that has to go with that, though. So you have to get these very fast hard drives. Really, you need solid-state hard drives, because you have, let's say, you have 1,000 people, and they all come in the morning, and they're trying to get resources. You can provision for 10 times as much. It's going to cost you a fortune, so you can be moderate. And if you're moderate, you're just going to have this churn that goes on, because some people are logging in, some people are logging out, they're having trouble. And so when you go with virtualization, you have to make sure that you're prepared for it. And then there's something about just a desktop computer, let's say an i7, with a speed of 3.4 gigabit, and they have 16 bits on a bus, and that's actually fast. You think about going to the internet, doing some processes, bringing stuff down, and going back to the internet. And, it's kind of hard, especially for CPU-intensive applications, to match what you can do locally. So that's why everything hasn't moved to the web. And for some applications, you need a lot of horsepower locally. And when I talked about I/O-intensive applications, you need really fast solid-state drive, which can be expensive. And kind of in the planning process, when you say you're going to go to virtualization, there's not the thought that I'm going to totally swap out, their disk farms for solid state. It costs a lot more. Also, another thing is that with the bigger screen, you get, you know, if you're a power user, you get more productivity. You can't do everything on your phone. Even though I have stories about some of my kids in my computer camp. One kid, I caught him, actually, he was doing a PowerPoint, and he was doing it on his phone. And I always say about when I see people doing things like that, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. Another kid actually writes code on his phone. Another one of those things. Just because you can do it doesn't really mean you should do it.
This phone with a real keyboard, or
No, with
just, oh my God.
No, you watch this, and I'm just
No,
amazed.
it's like they no fear, man. It's
All right.
like they just.
Well, they have those young eyes too.
For one
Well,
thing,
you know,
they ain't gonna have them on
No,
doing that.
That's right.
I don't think they're thinking real well, you know. And then I say that's my setup, like upstairs. You know, I need large screens. Main reason is, you know, I tell people when you get old, and you don't remember stuff. So if you have it all in front of you, you can copy from screen to screen, and you just don't have to remember everything. If you have a tablet, or even if you have like a small computer, you need to memorize what was on that third screen. So you have it all in front of you, you can go. Okay, so now I give up. Now that I got that out of my system, small devices are dominating the internet. We're going. And so what do we need to do? Mobile responsive web design has been around for a few years. In fact, in that competition that I trained kids for like 2 or 3 years ago, that was one of the components that they had to do. And it just sort of dropped out because, you know, different people ran the competition. But some of them actually still remember it. You need to use, you know, make good use of JavaScript, and that's really whether you're using a phone or using a desktop, because JavaScript is interpreted by the browser, and there's no extra load on the internet. And then what really makes responsive web work is something called media queries, which is a type of CSS style sheet. And then you can take advantage of a feature called, what's it called? Ajax. And when Ajax first came out, I was just really impressed. Because when the internet was a lot slower than it is now, you were trying to do animated things. The best way to simulate it was to use Ajax. And what Ajax does is it continually refreshes the screen in the background so that it looks like, you know, you have this continuous smooth method going on. Okay, so what's the argument? Responsive web is an approach that makes the screen viewable no matter what size device you're on. It makes an automatic adjustment. If you take things like Amazon or all the retailers, you know, they really count on that, and they can put a lot of effort into making the screens be just what it is, what it needs to be for you. And for really truly responsive design, you need to use all three of those. You really don't have to use all three to get, you know, a pretty good deal. Okay. This is actually this is Amazon. This is Amazon the way it looks on your phone. And using style sheets, it can be customized so that they show you just exactly what they want to show you. You know, let me show you this example first. Okay, this is something that I put up, and I use style sheet classes to make the screen change so that it shows everything, but it just reformats it. And I always have trouble going up to this corner here.
does BDPA stand for?
That's Black Data Processing Associates.
Okay.
That's the organization that sponsors my
You use
my
it?
camp. Yeah. All right. Now this, you want to resize it. It just moves the images so you can see them all. Now if I make it bigger, you know, and this actually, this didn't take a lot to do. But these current style sheets do a lot better job of it. This was actually about 4 years ago. And I was actually doing a demo for the kids in the camp. All right, this is Amazon. This is Amazon full scale. And this is what they would show me on my phone if I were viewing it with the browser. And they use a style sheet to get this exact effect. They position everything so they see what you want to they actually show you the last transactions that you had. And it's they're a little bit more clever than I would be, or than I am in doing this. So that's an example of what the pros do. Now here is a demo on W3 Schools, and if you intend to do any of this stuff, these W3 Schools tutorials are just really good. And actually this is something that, you know, when I'm trying to get kids in my camp to practice on things, I will have them go to W3 Schools and practice it. In this screen, you see the code, and you also see what would be viewed on the screen. And you see this meta tag, viewport. Let me just highlight this. This makes, just that tag, that one tag makes a world of difference. If you want to get extra control, you can add other style sheets to, you know, change different sizes depending on the phone. Or in this case, in this demo, what they do is they change the text color depending on the size of the screen. But if you took any website and you put that tag in the head, it's automatically going to tell the browser enough that it's going to give you just a world of difference in how it's displayed. If you went to any web page on your phone, it's going to display. It'll just be all over the place. This command tells the browser that to scale the screen, you know, based on the kind of device that you have. Now, if this was all that was needed, then, you know, the battle is finished. But let me show you sort of the rest of this action here. If I make this full size, it's green because there's a test in the code to see what size browsers are you using, what size widths, and then based on the width, you're changing the background to red, shows here, or green, or blue, if it's greater than 768 pixels. And this is the kind of stuff that you do. Now in this case, they're just changing the background. But any of the capabilities on the browser, any of the appearance you can change using style sheet commands, you know, based on one of these media query tests. And you get a lot of mileage out of just using that. Okay, I'm not going to do the grid example. What was the grid example? No, I'm not going to do that one. I'll show you one that I worked on. And I'll have you, everybody got their cell phone? Got your cell phone?
Yep.
Okay, I want you to try this one out. It's www.bdpa.sensi.org/mysurvey.aspx. This is a survey that's used during meetings where people can say how they rate the meeting, have comments. what do you want to do for future topics, and any final words for the chapter. Now, what happens when you fill out this survey? It gets stored on a server in the database, and the person that runs the meetings can look at it and see, well, how did the meeting go? How did the meeting go? And what other topics are people looking for? Now, this is also kind of a test, because this works on Samsung Galaxy, because that's what I have. But on some other phones, there may be more problems. So if you tell me that it doesn't, then you tell me what kind of phone, then I know what to look for.
First I got that.
No, okay, that's okay.
Then I got
okay. www.bdpa-cincy.org.
Yep.
/mysurvey.aspx.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that shown there?
Cincy.org/
Yeah, /
/ what?
My survey. .aspx.
SURV.
Oh, that's it.
EY.
I made it small.
Oh,
That was
small,
me.
you can't see it.
I did it. That was my fault.
So you control the world. You the guy behind the curtain.
Sort of, kind of. I was trying to bring my.
It is case sensitive, probably.
No, it's not case sensitive.
Okay. So it must be running on a Windows box.
It is on a Windows box.
I shrunk it again. Why did it do that?
It's okay on a Motorola phone.
No, it's not.
He's got a Motorola. What do you have?
Actually, if you look at the very top,
The
where the words are, where the text is,
Yeah.
it's overwritten itself.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. What kind? You have Motorola.
Yeah.
What other kind of phones?
This
Is yours overwritten?
Samsung.
Yours Samsung. Yours should look good. Because that's what I have.
See, Frank, how the text is overwritten.
Yeah.
And my phone just went to sleep again.
It says.
Yours looks really
My
good.
survey.
You got a Samsung.
But-
Oh, no, it overwrit yours, but
Okay.
it's got jumbled too.
It looks like some extra stuff in there.
Yeah, it got.
You're displaying something that.
It says,
Display.
please
Well,
take
You've got
the
a
short
line
survey
graph.
and save something, and then meeting survey.
Okay, so this is not. It's not spreading across.
Yeah, you've got a physical line wrap in the text.
Okay.
And when it does the line wrap on its own, because the screen isn't wide enough, it overwrites the second line.
Okay. Need to stretch it out. Now, horizontally, it's going to look good. Now, his looks good. What kind of phone you got?
Vertically, it looks like that.
That's the same program.
You got this, yeah,
Overlaps.
he's got the same
Yours
problem.
wraps too. Okay. And I'm the only one not wrapping. Okay, but I know what the problem is.
I'm going to stop casting and let you, and bring you back.
You can call it a feature.
You can just SSH in.
Yeah, it's a
I think
feature.
Run VI on
That's a
it.
feature.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, sorry.
I gotta make him big again. Apparently, when I cast two
Is it encrypted?
things, it
Encryption.
I'm impressed that you can cast two things.
I'm impressed that it actually worked. Yes, and didn't kill it.
Okay, so this word wraps, which means I'm going to have to extend that.
I knew I was supposed to be able to cast two things, but most of the time it kills it. So.
Okay, so if you were to take that survey, you'd get a message that says, thank you for your survey. But that was one of the things that I tried. And also I had another one. This is the biggie right here. This collects money.
Money.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do one. Jones. But I put somebody fake in here. CJ.
John Doe.
I haven't tested with John Doe. If I put somebody who I've tested with, it'll populate a lot of stuff.
It's ignoring you there. It's way behind.
Yes, way behind. John Doe was not there. Let's see, John. I'll type John some stuff. I'll just use John Doe. And then I'll say, alright, I've got something to work with. Consultant. And this person, I paid full membership, $100. Credit card. Submit the form. And then what happens is I get by now. It goes to the secured authorized.net merchant account, and you put your credit card in it after you put a security code in here, and the money goes to the bank. This was the focus of all this, just to make it easy to collect membership. I'm also going to put a donate button out there, so if you want to buy some pizzas for us, that'll work too.
It's all about funding, huh?
Well, that's kind of what's on my mind now. The guy who used to run the foundation passed in June, so a lot of people who counted on him, you have to find your own way. So that's what prompted all of this. Okay, I said this before, but this meta tag here, viewport, is something that you can put at the top of your website, and like in that case, I need to fix something with that word wrap. But except for stuff like that, it's going to display pretty good. And so, you got that tag there, you're halfway home. This is like a simple style sheet case. Just doing a test for the width. And in this case, if the width is less than 480 pixels, then it's going to use the style sheet. And this is going to bring the style sheet in. If not, it's just not going to do anything. Okay, also, how much time you spent so far?
It's
6:14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got 15 more minutes. I made the case for, I contrast native mobile apps. Even though when you use mobile responsive, you pick up everybody. You get Apple, any kind of cell phone, any kind of browser. And when you do a mobile app, you got to do the Apple, you have to do the Android. Windows, probably not so much. But you're going to do Android or Apple, and mobile apps picks them all up. But there's a case to be made for just having an app. Case mobile apps, native mobile apps, and they run faster, and you can store the data locally on your phone, and you also can do processing when your phone is not connected to the web. I don't know if I presented this here, but I have like a half-hour YouTube video on creating a native mobile app. Let's see if the library treats us well with this.
It'll probably kill the cast, actually. It does not like to stream video like this.
So we usually.
There's your handsome mug up in the right corner.
Oh.
Yeah, you might want to just kill that.
Hi, this is Frank Hill, and I have a video here to introduce you to mobile apps using Android. The tool is going to be Android Studios, and the application is a basketball
That's my second favorite place down in the basement.
Enter the number of tickets
See, if I go down to the
the
basement,
application will
my wife doesn't call me, come see this,
price
It's
come
a
see
man
this.
cave,
and
Yeah.
taxes and
I can't
so,
hear you.
so let's take a look at what the application looks like now. As I'm going to show you the screen, and then we'll go through the steps of actually
I'm just
creating
gonna
the
show you the screen.
application with Android Studios. This picture shows you what the finished product
A lot of what I do with kids are
like.
calculators. And so this is a simple
The
app
rest
for
of the video
calculating stupid
goes on
price.
to describe how we get there.
And then, you know, I go through it for a half hour and explain
Okay.
how you do that.
We're going to create it.
Okay. I said, you know, I'm just going to say a few words about development tools. And you can use anything, including Notepad, but I would just say Notepad is very slow. So you want to take advantage of productivity where you can. My favorite weapon is Visual Studio. Even though in some cases, particularly when you do Android, you know, I started to try to do native mobile apps using Visual Studio. It just didn't work as well as with normal Microsoft stuff. So then I started to use Android Studio, which actually for Android works better. There's also a tool called NetBeans, which I had to use this year with the kids in the camp because in the competition forced us to use PHP. Everybody had to use PHP, so NetBeans is good for that. You also need to be aware of the capabilities in the web browser. Chrome and Firefox have some really neat tools. Like with Firefox and Chrome, you can simulate screen sizes. You know, they have a mechanism there where you can just set whatever your screen size is, and you can see relatively what it's going to look like. Now, it wouldn't show up things that you guys saw on your phones with that text wrap. It won't show that kind of stuff. But it's good when you're just trying to see and you want to do it quick. Testing with tablets and actual phones is time consuming. So you don't want to do that until you get to the point that you think you've got it pretty good. A lot of work is done today with WordPress templates. People use PHP and WordPress, very popular. Not popular with me, but popular. You need to know HTML5. You just really need to know HTML5. And they had earlier versions of HTML, which for me, they just work fine. Except there are some things, some capabilities that you want to use. You absolutely need HTML5 and CSS3 style sheets. You can also use jQuery if you like, and then Twitter Bootstrap offers a lot of templates, which come with a lot of style sheets built in. You can customize them, but you don't want to be caught where you have to do. You could spend 2 weeks just doing style sheet stuff, and there's no need to put all that time in it when there's 1,000 Twitter Bootstrap templates out there. Just pick one and go from there. Other tools. If you want to do native mobile apps using Apple, you want to use Objective-C. Within Visual Studio, they have a cross-compiler, a cross-platform tool, which theoretically you can do anything. I mean, you could build it for Android, you could build it for Apple. It doesn't work as well for me, and there's something called Xamarin. Recently, Microsoft bought Xamarin, and they have some tools, but they're not easy to get into. And when you're trying to do this stuff, particularly when you don't want to spend weeks and months on it, you want to use something that you can get into fairly quickly. This wasn't a fairly quickly kind of thing for me. For skills, you need to know HTML5 and JavaScript. And Ajax was the tool that I talked about for, if you want to do animation or simulated animation kind of thing. And you need to know responsive web design techniques. In summary, got messed up.
Hey, that text wrap thing messed you up again.
Some applications are going to be on the desktop. And you need, if you see like newscasters, people have a lot of screens because they have a lot of things going. Anything that you want to do with a lot of graphics, you're going to need a computer with some power and a good graphics card. Mobile first and or mobile applications and both the web application and native mobile apps, they're going to continue to gain share. And 5G is going to make it, even more impressive the things they can do. In the third world, most people, they use phones for financial transactions, so, and plus they don't have all this infrastructure, landline infrastructure built up, so they're going to do things wirelessly, and the phone is the key.
Traffic is good with E up there.
Where?
Fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Greater
Oh,
than 6
foreseeable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll fix that. Okay. I didn't want to spell check. Microsoft does a good job with the spell check thing.
Oh, yeah.
You need varied skills to do this stuff, but it's not rocket science kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, similar to what you guys saw with the wraparound text. A lot of it's just tedious. It's not that you can't do it, but how much time do you have? Because I'm thinking about I should be grading some papers, and I'm messing with this.
It's kind of like technician work. There's a lot of technical stuff.
Yes. Once you get set in a direction, and I say a lot of it is getting your development tool working right. If you get your development tool working, you can make progress, But you spend a lot of time getting there, and then after that, it's just sort of make the mistake, fix it, make the mistake, fix it, make the mistake.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Thinking suicide.
Yeah.
Thinking about suicide.
And
things like that.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
I was gonna, you brought up the 5G. What'd you say about the 5G is something biological?
I'm saying that it's on the same frequency as water or oxygen or something, how the body carries that molecule. So
I never heard that before. I
there you
thought
go.
that was
Okay.
there's a lot of articles on it, and there's a lot of doctors.
I got a question for Frank.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't done any mobile design, but I know early along when you go out, is it still true that you have to put everything on the store, either an Android store or the Apple store? Can you do like business type applications without going there?
Okay. If you want to do real application, you need to put it in the store. And I'll say also you need to put it in the store because they run a good system test. You don't really have to put it in the store. There's nothing that I've ever done that's in the store because these things are downloadable. If I want to give it to somebody, I send it to them and they download it to their phone. It works. But you need to put it in the store.
You can Android. You can turn off the thing in the settings where it just goes. No, it's not the developer thing. It's install.
Non-store applications.
Yeah, it's third-party apps that
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But you turn that on, you install your app, and then you turn it back off again because supposedly the apps from the App Store or from Play are verified.
Right.
So you're taking a chance by installing a third-party app.
Right. So excuse my ignorance though. So how do you get how do you install it on the
Well, I tell you,
Android?
I use Android Studio.
Okay.
Android
And it
Studio
has
will let you install it.
I use like Dropbox, and I've got Dropbox on my phone, so I just put the file into the Dropbox and then pull it off the Dropbox, and it pops up and says, "You need to turn this on so you can install the app." Okay, go and turn it on. Do it all again. Install the app.
Now,
But
if you haven't installed Android Studio, just be prepared for a fight. Because you're continually doing these updates, and then finally it works.
And then there's another update.
Yeah.
Well,
It's usually when you have updates later on, it's not as bad. When you start from the beginning,
First start,
it's a mess.
That's true for a lot of development environments.
now on my phone anyway, probably others. When I plug it in, if I plug it into the USB, it actually will show up as a device, and I could just drag and drop a file over there too.
He's right.
So it's usually if I do that, I'll put it like somewhere I can find it, like in the downloads or something,
Yeah.
so that you click on that downloads folder and there it is.
Yeah, I remember when I first looked into that, and I got this book that talked about developing on Apple. It sounded to me at that point, this was a few years ago, it sounded like everything had to go to, the store or
If you want it to be widely disseminated, you
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
They're
If
telling
it's
you, of course,
something for
the
you
right
and-
way to do it.
Even the early
The-
days, you didn't have to. Even
No.
the early days, you didn't. Oh, okay. It's
Hackers don't do things the right way.
yeah.
You don't need to
Put
stick
an
that stuff in the
IPK
store.
file on a thumb drive and plug it in.
I have like a small update, and we'll get some feedback on the collaboration tools. Last week, I found something called Jandai, and it appears to do several of the things I liked from Slack much better. It's still a little wonky, but you can do specific topics. They call them topics, not threads on that in this case. But you can do specific. You can set up individual things, and I even was able to move some project files from one to another. So it's still a little wonky. I've invited a few people, but I think only Frank and Vicente are there. Did you go to Jantai?
No, I didn't go to Dental. I went to.
I haven't yet.
thought
Somebody else did.
I got it, but you know what? I must have went to. I went and looked at a YouTube video, and it sounded like it was encryption based type.
It's
It was like. What? So
maybe Keybase is what you're thinking
Oh, that
of.
was Keybase. That's right. That was Keybase.
And that is encrypted.
Okay.
Um, Somebody else joined Jandai but hasn't done
May have been
anything.
me.
And me and Vicente have been playing around in it. So
I tried to reply to a lot of
give
what
your opinion. You have an opinion about it?
No.
He has no opinion.
Well, I saw your
You still
write-up. I
feel
saw
strongly
your
both
write-up
ways.
that you did on
Yeah.
on Slack and
Slack. That was the
on
one I
Twitch.
joined.
Yeah.
I joined Slack.
And so so it was my impression based on your research that you just have to take us somewhere and say, okay, we got to start using this, and we start playing with it. Because if Jandai is what you think we ought to, because it's hard to play. I played with Slack a little bit. I played with Twist, but yeah, I mean.
I know it's hard to commit when we're just playing around.
Yeah, but I think that's the only way. I mean, you're gonna.
Well,
but I think you have the best view into it because you spent the most time with it. You spent the most time on what we had before.
People are still in the candy
For
store.
me, it's hard
Yeah, I
to
know.
use
You get all these
Shiny
buttons
objects.
and- yeah,
you don't really like any of them.
Not really, no.
If you, I
They
see,
don't
I
seem
see
as
the point.
seamless as
No, I see the point. I see the purpose. When you're working on something together,
Yeah.
like we're all working on it. It's always constantly there, and so you can go back to it.
Right.
If I want to share some code with you, it's going to be there. We're going to see what the discussion was, but we're not doing that.
Okay. But we should be doing some of that.
We need two, I think we realize we need two different features.
At least two different things, yeah.
One of them is a bulletin board type functionality, and the other is the work type functionality.
I found a replacement for G Plus as well, which is more, like, way closer to what G Plus is. This is separate from G Plus. This is more.
See, you way out ahead of us.
Yeah, I am, sort of.
You
But
are.
it's because G Plus is going away that I even started looking
See, I
at
didn't
this
even
stuff.
know that G Plus was going away.
G Plus is
what,
going
9
away.
months, 13 months.
No, it's closer now. We're probably in the 7.5, 8 month range now. But this Jandai thing, it lets me set up a read-only topic, which is nice for sending announcements. It also integrated really well with the Google with the calendar, and it automatically sent a message out that the meeting was about to start.
Now, does it, like, one of the things that Slack didn't have is the ability to go in and create, like the user files and stuff, but it had an add-on for Dropbox. So you can set up a Dropbox account and have, files like that possibly.
It has the ability to do some GitHub stuff. I don't know about Dropbox. I didn't look at Dropbox.
Well, even if it has a way that you can design things, the individual folders, I'll
Yeah.
say, not files, but individual folders. I think that's a nice touch.
The only I don't know. I like the idea of having separate topic based and then having the threads inside of that topic.
For sure, yeah.
And then having the private read-only room where admins can send messages to everybody is nice. And that was really my the two big things that, well, the one, Twist doesn't have the read-only rooms. And that was really my big thing, was like, I really like that. And Slack doesn't do the topics real well. So I think Jandai is kind of a combination between Twist and Slack. The things I really like Slack was doing and really like Twist was doing kind of shoved them together. So I think that's probably the one that.
Send me a
okay.
I don't think I got that one. I got Keybase, but I don't think I got that one.
I didn't see the one for Jandai. I got the Slack.
The net of,
yeah, that's it.
Is it?
Yep. I'll send more again. I tried to get everybody in there. They even have an app for the phone, but I found their app for their phone to be a little lacking. That's not really I find it a little
You can
the desktop version has it laid out nicer.
You casting from your phone to?
I am casting from my phone.
Okay. Do that.
But this is event starting in 15 minutes is the last thing that it says down here, and then it's a link to the Google Calendar. So that's pretty nice. And that's a shared Google Calendar that I created just to play around with this thing. And that's in the announcement room where it's just announcing stuff. And then we've got the bulletin boards, which we've been using as just general chit chat, kind of like a Slack room. And then you've got that I just shrunk. General threaded chats. This is a topic. And inside of, I don't know if you can see it or not, it says general threaded chat, and then it says project B. Those are both what they call folders, and they both have different threads inside of them. So this is a thread, and this is a thread inside of the general chat. And then project B has, oh, duh, it's on my phone.
It's like, well, I said one. Yeah, there you go.
We have created by him, and that's just one thread, but he actually created that outside of a project room, and I was able to move it into it, which I think was something you kind of like wanted to find out if Slack could do, and this did it. But I don't know.
Now, what can you
I'm at that point where I'm just going to pick something.
Yeah. That JPEG, can you actually expand that JPEG within there, or can you do it on your desktop with it? Just double click on it or something, and it comes up. Okay. But it's not it's not already expanded.
Well, on the desktop,
It is.
it's a lot easier to see it.
Yeah.
It's a little small on the.
Yeah, my point was not the fact that it isn't always, because I think one of the things we got used to in Google Plus is that they always were expanded. You weren't attaching a document necessarily. Right. It made it easier to browse. And that's sort of one of the things we talked about last week, is that ability to just go through and browse, and it sort of gives you that, the picture sort of, wow, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice because you can scroll through pretty quick.
Yeah, this being a collaboration tool, which is slightly different than what G Plus is anyway. A collaboration tool would be, we're sharing pictures for ourselves more than everybody else looking at them or whatever. Like somewhere in there, there's pictures of the grandkid in her Halloween costume. Just because, I mean, if this is what we're going to use, I'll go through and I'll erase everything and start it over again. But I don't know.
Do we just want to look at replacing Google Plus first?
Well, Google Plus.
Because we weren't using it as a software collaboration tool, as a bulletin board, which we kind of like. I kind of like. And you can say, I'm doing this, and there's a picture, and la la la, and you can back and forth. And then if you want to do a project, that would be a different tool, and we could have that tool too.
This is called MeWe, and I don't know how well it's going to show up on.
We showed it last week briefly.
Yeah. MeWe. Let's see if I can actually make it.
I think Frank, he's making your point. Some things should be for the phone, and other things should be for the.
We were just trying to decide.
I think.
He's got all of his candy.
Yeah.
I think Leroy's in the. There's some stuff I like about everything, and I'm just going to have to make it. Am I even logged in? So MeWe, I haven't really joined anything yet, but MeWe is much more like Google Plus. Yeah, it's
cool. Why don't we try that one for next meeting?
For doing the general public stuff and replacement of whatever of G Plus.
It does groups and stuff.
Yeah, communities.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a community. It actually is very community centric, or it seems to be.
So all
but
the people that
this is what you're talking about, where you could just go and look and say, "Yeah, I like this." Or do what?
It's the same format than Flickr or something.
Yeah, actually, it looks like they've changed the format because it used to be all on one page.
Can you put text up, or is it more picture oriented?
It's both.
Okay, so it can be like Google Plus then.
Yeah, well, it's very much like Google Plus.
Oh, okay.
Where's my mouse? Where's my Ms. House?
So why is Google Plus going away?
Because
They got holes, and they don't want to.
They're like Microsoft. They want money.
There's that.
There it is. That's more how it usually looks.
Cool. Yeah, that's Google Plus-ish.
Yeah, it's Google Plus-ish. Actually, I found this site on Google Plus. A bunch of people that have already jumped ship that said,
This is
"Come here. This is as close as we found."
with open arms.
This is as close as we found, and.
Well, let's talk serious. Is it free?
It's free.
Oh, okay.
If it's free, it's for me.
That's the first criteria.
It could do some other stuff too. It looks like they've got their own kind of dock system going on. I don't know if we need to jump that much of a ship, but at least for the networking part of it, it is probably a decent replacement. But I know somebody else. I don't know who it was, but somebody else joined Janty.
Could have been me.
It probably was you.
And I didn't do anything with
You
it.
don't know what you're doing, so you.
Yes. I'm the blind leading the blind.
Leroy said,
I
click on
think
this, I
so.
clicked on it, and I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leroy said to do this, and I did, and now I don't know why. Why am I here?
As Ricky said, you got some splaining to do.
So I think we can, once you sign up, you can just search for stuff, and I think it will show up. There it is. I mean, it's still relatively small, especially for maker kind of stuff, but at least there's some of that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
So I could join the
Edgar's
group,
Rio de Janeiro.
or I could look and see what that group's doing. I don't necessarily need to join it. I just wanted to see what it was doing. But I think that's as close to a G plus replacement that there is right now.
Do we want to try it out next week?
Yeah, we can get
Okay.
people on it or whatever.
So you're up, the next week's project is
Kiwi.
MeWe.
for automation technology.
Now, yeah, that's it. That's
So
all.
who's behind MeWe?
I have no idea.
The only reason I always ask these questions is I'm wondering about motive.
Well, let me tell you what.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes you don't want to know.
Ignorance, yeah. Sometimes
Look
ignorance
and see who's behind Meetup. Okay, you don't want to know.
Yeah, you really don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
The S Groupies Inc. U.S. Up in the corner. S Groupies Inc.
Just accept Meetup. You're kind of stuck. It's the best tool for doing what I want to do, by far.
So is Microsoft behind it?
No.
I would love if Microsoft were behind it. I would be happy.
I have no idea who those people are, but there they are. Now I know John Day. I think it's a Korean company.
Mountain View, California. Some guy named Mark Weinstein.
Startup.
Do
a what? Startup, some kind of.
But
Yeah.
I think John Day is
He's the founder of
Korean
Yeah.
or I don't know. They got weird
It's
characters.
best that we don't know.
Harvard.
Yeah, so don't ask too many
Yeah,
questions.
we don't want to know.
You know,
Trust me, knowing's not that good. Not what it's cracked up to be.
anyway,